Felilum tambenouche. Welcome, friends, to Bramble On, Dimension Q's premier source for intelligent conversation, summation, and illumination of each and every episode of Love Among the Brambles, excluding the first 1,767 seasons to which we do not have access. Today we discuss episode 15919, Road Tripping. In this episode, Viola has tea with Calla Lily and tells her she needs a lock of Raffia's hair because of a family curse. Although she does not say whose family is cursed, she does not divulge her relationship with the Fawn Witch. Viola is fit to be tied, having no idea how to obtain this hair. At least in a timely fashion. It was suggested in previous episodes last season that the lock of hair could be procured at the ball. However, that is several plulum hence, and the Fawn Witch is not willing to wait. Calla Lily, clever girl, asks if a cousin's hair would suffice. We know what cousin she means. Carter, the courter, who wishes to woo Calla Lily. However, is his wooing sincere, or is it part of a plot in the overall family plot? Meanwhile, most of this episode takes place on the road, where Slate, Brooke, and Magnolia return to the ring, accompanied by Dahlia and Lena. So here we have Brooke and Magnolia, who are friends. Magnolia, as we know, has long since desired Slate. Brooke has promised Magnolia he would help Magnolia win Slate. But with them is Slate's new wife, and then, of course, Lena, Dahlia's mother, by whom Slate is besotted. So you can imagine the tension and hijinks that go on during this episode. On the note that is perhaps the most extraordinary, upbeat, to be ballyhooed, is that of Citron, who volunteers to help the mayor with his image. Volunteer, of course, meaning for pay. This is to be her first job, her first source of employment, and she means to do it correctly. Nanny stays at the apothecary so Viola can tend to her wounds, while Milliam rebuilds the homestead. As you recall, while Milliam was about to carry his new bride, Nanny Nettlebottom, over the threshold to their new home together, the place went up in a blaze, sparked by never-clear starshine that Milliam was brewing on site. Rosie Katie Diddleleaf, who, as we know last week, found out that Stock did not kill the spiders. However, he merely used a natural remedy to get them to scoot along and move elsewhere. She means to kill them, and she goes to them for that purpose, leaving Stock with an awful choice. He has to choose between the spiders or her. And last, Dodd Hoskins, the human, who the actor has been off the show for several weeks doing, as they say, a blockbuster film. We are apprised he was not injured busting the blocks. He is back on the show. He shows up at Milliam's unannounced, of course not realizing that Milliam is a fae, but certainly also not realizing that Milliam is now married to the matriarch of the prominent fae family in the area. When he sees the place has been blown up, he wonders if it is the work of the fae, and says he has been doing some research. Well, as we know, a human doing research rarely ends well. Let us move on, shall we? Our sponsor this week is Diet Water, a product specifically designed for Gaians in dimensions F, L, and Q. Each bottle only costs about 10% that of a new automobile, whereas in most realms, additional flesh is considered a sign of prominence and wealth and is to be desired for some unknown reason, unfathomable reason in the dimensions mentioned on planet Gaia. It is the opposite. So do get your bottles of diet water No need to die trying, try diet water. As they say, just diet. Moving on. This episode received a controversial rating in so much as most believe it is not a reflection of the episode itself, but is actually in reaction to the episode before with the lazy writing involving Magnolia and the Lumber Trolls, and we never did find out how the Lumber Trolls' debt was satisfied or how they got Brooke out of his indebtedness and fealty to the Moss Boss. And with that in mind, this episode today, while solid, only received a 2 mushroom rating. Had it not been so well done, I believe it would have received a 1 mushroom rating in reaction to last week. But those are just the opinions of the ratings board. Let us see what our callers think. What say you? Caller 1.
I thought Pearl and Milliam were goners. I truly did. Leave it to LATB to get us all worked up like that. 3 people called out sick at work. They were so distraught. I'm pleased that Pearl will be staying with her granddaughter while her new home is being rebuilt. With all that's going on, Viola could really use some wisdom and support from her gran. And it was nice to see the sisters spending some time together. My friends and I are planning a tea party just like theirs. We'll post images on societal media after the party. Bye-bye.
As always, I tend to agree with our callers. It was indeed simply shocking to see old Milliam's home blow up, and I understand the level of distraughtedness among your co-workers. I'm surprised only 3 called out. I was unable to go to work the next day, to be honest, and I work from home. Yes, it was lovely to see Viola and Calla Lily spend some time together as sisters. They never do that anymore. I don't remember the last episode. Can you even remember an episode in recent years that had Calla Lily and Viola together? Unless it was in a group setting. No, I think that was a wonderful topic that you picked up on, and very sweet. I very much enjoyed that. And kudos on planning your Calla Lily and Viola tea in recognition, or your sister's tea. I very much like that. Moving on to caller 2.
Hi there. Oh boy, that human Dodd Hoskins is doing research on fairy lore? It makes me so nervous I can hardly knit a tea cozy. What if he finds out the truth? What if he tells others? What will become of the ring? I tell you, the suspense is going to be the end of me.
I'm so sorry to hear that your tea cozy must suffer the consequences of Dodd's actions. I don't know if you're aware, in the human world, Athenaeums are referred to as libraries, and they do not have bibliothecaries who run them, sadly. They have humans who do their best, and among humankind are considered the cream of the human crop. They are learned, they are helpful, they are usually wickedly witty, but they can only go so far in so much as humankind's history is very brief. And so how much could there be to research? I fear that what Dodd finds may not be accurate. Moving on to caller 3.
I think it's a fantastical idea for the mayor to hire Citron to help with his image. He needs a makeover, and she needs a job. And no one in the world knows societal media like Citron. What a stroke of genius. The mayor may not have what it takes to give Prince Raffia a run for his money, but Citron does. I can't wait.
Well said, caller. I could not agree more, and I do believe this plot point with Citron may be just what the writers need to earn back the trust and the respect and the viewership of the fans. One can only hope. Now, that concludes this episode, 15919, Road Tripping. Next Plulum, look forward to episode 15920, Epiphany's Eve, in which Viola fires up The Cauldron. Calla Lily accepts an advance. And Magnolia performs a 12th night on Dahlia. My goodness, much to look forward to, and I dare say much to garner a rating above and beyond 2 measly mushrooms. Until then, my friends, do keep calm and do ramble on.